last year, I was one of 3 coordinators for the mission project for 2011, where we raised tens of thousands of dollars for Nets for Life through Episcopal Relief and Development. And more than half of the congregations in this diocese participated in that project. After the project was over, a few of us cycled back to have a conversation with congregations that chose not to participate in the project. And we heard some consistent themes. One was, we're in transition with clergy and we couldn't really participate. Or we're struggling financially and we couldn't give extra money. Or there's a lot of conflict in our church right now and we just weren't in a good place, which is fine. I arrived in Trinity at Trinity Church in Excelsior in mid-December as its new rector. And by January, the question was raised, are we going to participate in Mission Project 2012? And my first response was, well, we're in transition, so I kind of don't know, right? I totally get it now. But then I wondered if we might look at this from a different perspective. Could being in transition be an opportunity to approach this opportunity from a new vantage point, with new people, with a new voice, or an opportunity to develop something that might transform our congregation with a new way of doing mission? As luck would have it, Trinity has a fantastic curate, Gretchen Reck, who has, over the past 3 years, built a pretty comprehensive and very dynamic program for young people in the church. And she had started thinking about Mission Project 2012 long before I arrived. And so we began to wonder together, what if we located Trinity's involvement in Mission Project 2012 in a new place in our congregation? What if we invited the young people to take the lead on our behalf, to form it, envision it, engage it, and in so doing, lead the rest of the congregation? Because, as we all know, a congregation will follow its young people anywhere. So the structure of our involvement in Mission Project 2012 has 3 parts. The first is that we have made a 1-year commitment to First Nations Kitchen. And what that means is we're volunteering once a month. We are paying for the food that we are serving. And also we have committed to building relationships with the people of All Saints Indian Mission over time, and also the First Nation Kitchen guests. So between the youth group, the young adults, or the adults that work with them, and the members that populate that ministry. And it is a great honor to be involved with that. The second part of our involvement is that we've signed up for the one-week house build up at White Earth. We're committed to raising at least $5,000. The young people will lead that fundraising effort to finance our involvement up there, and we will send an intergenerational contingent up to White Earth in July, led by the young people of our congregation. The third part and last part is that we are being intentional about doing the spiritual work around the action. So I think Trinity's value added in this mission project is that it's not just enough to engage the action of the mission. If we want to experience the experience to feed our spiritual lives, to provide some opportunity for spiritual transformation, to deepen our relationship with God, the engagement and the action needs to be complemented by our own interior work. And so in Lent, and Gretchen's going to talk about this for a moment, the young people are focusing on peace and peacemaking, peace, the kind of peace that requires and calls us to justice. We are doing some historical work, learning the story of Indigenous people in Minnesota from Indigenous people in Minnesota. We'll engage in some anti-racism work in order to better equip us to work across cultures and develop relationships in an intentional way, and also engage kind of a ongoing reflection led by our new deacon intern, and engaging the practice of action and reflection. So I guess in sum, what I want to say is that I don't think a congregation needs to be stable in order to gauge a mission project. And if we're going to wait for that, we're not going to get very far. Our second point is that I think that youth have a capacity to lead the rest of the congregation, given support and invitation to do that. And also, I think it's important that we consider doing our own spiritual work around the action that we commit to do, and that's an essential part of really helping to transform our congregations in the process of engaging this collective project.